Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about the overall crypto market. Specifically, we are going to analyze Ripple and XRP as well, though. But guys, I'm not even going to ask you guys to sit back and relax because I know that it's probably extremely hard to do so. I am drinking some wine just to kind of settle the nerves because, hey, the market is a little bit hectic right now. On the 7-day span, you do see Bitcoin down 30%. On the 24-hour span, you see it down 11.32%. The entire market is down 15.52%, almost at a $1 trillion market cap. It is absolute chaos. And it really does remind me of again the 2020 timeline where we seen the March crash and everybody was panicking, everybody was calling for much lower, and we're still seeing those calls right now on Bitcoin. We're actually going to be addressing it. We're going to be talking about things, but you guys do see on the 7-day span as well, altcoins, Luna absolutely getting killed. I mean, it's sitting at a $704 million market cap, down to number 63, down 96% in one day. And I've been seeing a lot of people aping in. Guys, listen, I'm not going to tell you to guys go buy Luna, but I'm just telling you right now, if you do not ape in with a large amount of money. Only invest what you can afford to lose. But I got stopped out on a few investments today. In fact, on XRP, I got stopped out around roughly 40 cents. I told you guys, 40 cents was a perfect buy point, unless you have, a little bit of a stop loss, a little bit under that, just to kind of, safeguard your, capital. I got stop lossed out at around like roughly 39.5 cents. We are still kind of waiting for, some lows to be triggered on XRP. In fact, I do think that we can go a little bit lower, and we're going to be talking about that. Chainlink is another one that I got stopped out a little bit on. I'm still waiting to see where this goes. We are sitting at currently $6.23, pretty significant low right now. The lowest point right now in terms of Link that we've seen since going back as far as literally July of 2020. So it's pretty significant. So let's just dive in and let's talk about a few things. So first off, I just want to say right now to everybody watching this, we are all going to make it through this and look back on it while laughing. Listen, if you are going through it and are in a dark place, please reach out to someone. I know these times are chaotic and extremely rough. This is not easy for anyone. Make sure to focus on yourself. And guys, please make sure that you are reaching out to somebody. Please make sure that you are not panicking too much. Please do not overthink too much. I know that these times are extremely, rough. Trust me, I've been seeing it a lot through this market right now. There's a ton of panic. There's a lot of people worried, concerned. Guys, please ensure to reach out to somebody and talk to somebody. Do not go through this alone. Also, I just want to leave this tweet down in the comments below. It's a full thread. It goes back to June of 2021, and it's regarding Tether. In fact, it's talking about a Tether collapse. We can kind of read through this a little bit, but I want you guys to read through it fully. I'm going to leave it down in the description below. I can't read through it the entire way, but we do see here, regardless of price action, everyone should be focused on Tether, as I have been discussing. This is a very important variable, and things are getting very real now. So who is up for a story? I would like to kickstart the story with this scene. You guys can go watch it if you want. I'm not going to watch it, but we do see, let's start. According to the website, Tether is incorporated out of Hong Kong and has 13 employees according to its LinkedIn. Tether is amongst the global giants Vanguard and BlackRock in the commercial paper market. Throughout its history, Tether has touted itself as a stablecoin. This stablecoin is designed as such. 1 USDT equals 1 US dollar. However, according to disclosure, it's only backed by 3.87% equals cash, which out of 75.85% equals 2.9%. Vital piece of plumbing equals for global crypto market. And you do see the reserves breakdown there. Their cash reserves is literally only 3.87%, which is pretty significant. We do see here, why is Tether USDT a vital piece of plumbing for the global cryptocurrency market? This is because traders capture arbitrage for when a bank wire is unavailable or fast enough. Or not fast enough, As of right now, over 60% of stablecoins in the world are USDT. Now, of course, a lot has changed since this time because this was over a year ago. Tether is the third largest cryptocurrency in the world with a market cap of $62 billion, which is behind Bitcoin and Ethereum. Interestingly, I have noticed since the beginning of June, no new USDT has been minted. We've seen it minted since then. Velocity is down, but yes, but the why could be big. Next, Tether is heavily concentrated in terms of ownership, but I will not make everyone bored from ranting about it. I will now showcase why the world's largest exchange, Binance, is strongly interlinked with Tether, and why, in my opinion, represents a major potential liquidity problem. Tether enables everyone to keep track of the wealthiest Tether wallets holding the most USDT via the Tether Rich List. Currently, Binance, Huobi are the leaders. Both companies were founded in China, and we actually do see both of them there. At the time, back in June, we do see Binance holding 17.3 billion Tether, and we also do see Huobi holding about 2.6 billion. This loops back to the 2.9% cash backing of the alleged one-to-one backed stablecoin. What really backs these reserves is U.S. commercial paper, half of its reserves. In fact, disclosures show that its holdings of companies' short-term debt make it the 7th largest in the world. Nobody knows that specific commercial paper holdings due to its lack of transparency and lack of regulation. This further validates why a product such as this offering poses a risk to the crypto space, but most importantly could trigger a major event within the financial system. Tether is the most traded digital asset on this planet, but do the majority of its users about its actual reserves? Absolutely not. But do the majority of its users care about its actual reserves? Absolutely not. Sorry about that. What would they do if they found out billions held by exchanges led by Binance are not worth an equivalent in USD? Time to turn it up. First, in my opinion, the unregulated nature of Tether is another reason exchanges love it so much. Why fewer dealings with regulated banks? Remember, Binance offers 125x leverage for some future contracts. You guys can go read about this if you guys want. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I will document things I have already reported, but to centralize everything in one place so you can see what I see. The trend is clear. All eyes on the world's biggest crypto exchange, Binance, eyes on Tether. Is the cutoff starting? You judge. Now, you guys can read all through this if you guys want. I just wanted to give you guys the basis behind this, because as we do see UST absolutely collapsing, it is pretty significant when we look at Tether right now, because Tether, like I've said, is over 6% of the overall market capitalization of crypto. If that does crash, we are going to see a lot more in terms of a cascade in the market compared to what we did just see with UST. Now, also, we go back in time to July of 2021. Shout out to Illiquid Risk in my Discord. He actually shared this, but we do see Circle reveals assets backing USDC stablecoin. Crypto's number 2 stablecoin is backed mostly 61% by cash and cash equivalents. This is significant compared to, USDT, if you will. But also, Circle just got a $400 million investment from BlackRock and other, major entities in terms of even Fidelity. USDC is the chosen one in terms of stablecoins. This is also why I do believe that almost every single other stablecoin will be attacked in this market besides USDC. Everything has played perfectly into what they have wanted around stablecoins and also crypto. For the longest time, we have seen regulators moving in on stablecoins in general, saying, these pose a major risk. All of this that we are seeing in this market in terms of, capitulation, you could call it capitulation, you could call it the bear market, whatever you want to call it, because I know that a lot of people have called it, the bear market. If we believe in the 4-year cycle, yes, we are in the bear market. I'm actually going to be addressing that real quick in this video, but, as we do see things happening around stable coins and regulations, everything has played perfectly into what they want to see. I watched the total market cap of crypto today do a massive cascading, move. In fact, from the all-time highs on this chart to where we currently are right now, it is roughly a 61.5% down move. And I'm actually expecting this to come down to the 702 before having a bounce, which would be 62.77%. Just to give you guys a real quick idea, during our summertime, move, it was roughly a 56.43% drop. And during COVID, right, if we're going off of the 2019 highs, now, if we look back here, this was a 72% drop. And even if you're talking about the recent high that this made, it still is a pretty significant, percentage drop of roughly, 65%. So again, where we currently are right now, a lot of people are asking me, is this worse than March of 2020? It's about the equivalent. It's about the same exact time frame in terms of what we've seen back there, which also tells me that we are seeing, some pretty incredible opportunities, but not a lot of people want to jump on them because they are scared of what happens next. Could we come down and test the January 2021 demand zone at about roughly the 618? This would be the total market cap of crypto coming down to $845 billion. That's a pretty significant level to test. But also, in terms of XRP, look at XRP. It's in a free fall. Just to warn you guys ahead of time right now, we could most likely see either a demand zone down here at roughly 23, almost 24 cents being tested, which, by the way, this is on a multi-year 236 fib level. This would be pretty significant to test, and it would also offer an incredible buy opportunity for a lot of individuals. But we are seeing, altcoins down from their, highs just recently. I mean, we're going back just 1 year ago on XRP. We're already down 82.5%. If we go down to this, fib level, we're down almost 90%, aka bear market lows. So this is going to take some time to recover. I think that when we talk about this market, it's going to take a little bit of time, all the way to almost 2023, to fully recover. I actually said this. Also, in terms of altcoins, I even said on Twitter, alts are going to get a lot worse as dominance on Bitcoin continues to rise against current market conditions. XRP buy target was triggered at 40 cents, followed by a stop loss hit at 38 cents. Things are getting real interesting now. And yes, they fully are. When we talk about Bitcoin right now, do you see the level that we are testing on Bitcoin? Look at this perfect almost test of the 200 EMA. This is on the weekly, by the way. Look at this. It is sitting at roughly 26.8K, 26,859 exact. Look at the level that we are coming down to. It's almost a perfect retest of that level. We're talking about Bitcoin down currently from its all-time highs already 61.40%. Okay, that's pretty significant. You look back in time, this has been the largest dip since going back to the March of 2020 drop. We've seen during the summer, it was a 55.63% drop. Yeah, we're overshadowing that already. If we go back to, COVID, this was roughly a 63.36% drop. This would be 61.10. It would basically be the equivalent of that time frame. If you go off of the all-time, not the all-time high, but the high back in, roughly the June, July time frame of 2019, we came down roughly, 72.31%. It's a pretty significant drop. When we take a look at the current market structure, though, is everything over? Is everything done? Let's look into this, right? So first off, we do see here, I speculate there are likely a lot of stop losses placed just under the yearly low. If we get under there, I suspect those would start triggering pretty rapidly. Shout out to Blockchain Backer for this, but he basically shared this chart where it was talking about the summer lows of 2021 all the way back to January of 2021. Sorry about that. And yes, there is a ton of stop losses. In fact, there's a ton of liquidity down there. When we take a look at this liquidity chart from the Kingfisher_Bitcoin, look at where 27K is. Look at all the liquidity there to hunt. This will also push Bitcoin down below the 200 EMA. In fact, we just watched this break live as we are literally recording this. And there's a ton of liquidity down here to attack. So if we do not see a significant bounce here, in fact, when we look at the volume right now on Bitcoin, things are pretty rough right now. There is not a lot of buy pressure at all. Even going back to, let's go to the hourly, right? There's not a ton of buy pressure here at all. And it's not looking like we are bottoming out anytime soon. I would suspect that this goes down even further. So I would say, in terms of, hey, are we at our bottoming point? No, absolutely not. In fact, I do think that we are going to break down even more from here. To test some levels, it's hard to say where we're going to test fully. I've said about like 25.9K is the next major target, but after that, it's going to be a free fall all the way down to about like 21.9K. And from there, things get very, very bad. So I would say, there's a ton of fear out in the market right now. There's a ton of blood in the streets. I wouldn't be trying to buy anything right now as Bitcoin is continuing to move down and Bitcoin dominance is still continuing to move up. I've been talking to you guys a little bit. Sorry, not to go to the Bitcoin USD chart. So here's the Bitcoin dominance chart. We're actually breaking up a little bit to roughly, almost 45%. We're sitting at about like 44.31%. I'm suspecting this goes a little bit higher, which is going to push altcoins down a lot more. Honestly, guys, things are going to get a lot worse from here, going forward. And it's going to take some time to recover. I would say, if you want to buy things, just wait a little bit. Wait to see a little bit of a reversal on Bitcoin dominance. Wait until you see a reversal on the entire chart in terms of Bitcoin, but also in the indices. Now, let's take a look real quick at one last chart. I do want to talk to you guys a about this chart from Credible Crypto. So he basically is talking about this chart that he posted back in 2020 of April. 2 years later, let's take a look at how things have developed. Updated chart below with notes. I could be wrong, but I positioned myself accordingly like I did 2 years ago when Bitcoin was at 6K. You should do your own research and make your own decisions. These are just my thoughts. And yes, honestly, I'm still in this market heavily. I'm not going to be scared out and, sell out right now at all. I'm still in this, heavily. I've told you guys this. I'm still holding my convictions. Could we come down and test some significant lows? Yes, 100%. But I'm not going to get too concerned at all. I suspect that we most likely hold the bull market tops of 2017, 2018 at roughly 20.8K. But let's take a look at this overall chart from Credible Crypto. So he's saying that our topping point would basically be around the 2023 timeframe at roughly 140K on Bitcoin. This could definitely be possible. We look here, 3 expectations from original post. High of the cycle will be met in 2023. Top between 100K to 200K. No new all-time high until 2021. Now, of course, we look here, present day, wave 2 wrapped up quickly, quicker than expected, leading to a break of our all-time high in December of 2020 rather than in 2021. This, in turn, made me believe the cycle was moving faster than originally expected, thinking we may top in 2022. Each of our wave 1 and wave 3 impulses took about 6 months to complete. We can assume our 5th wave will be similar in time. Our wave 4 has taken longer than our wave 2, and in doing so seems to have put us on back on track for a top in 2023. Wave 2 corrected 75% and led to a major wave 3. Our wave 4 is ugly and time consuming, but has only dropped around 50%, less than wave 2 and well within the realm of a normal wave 4, mid-cycle correction. Corrective structures can take various forms and originally depicted our wave 2 as a running flat and wave 4 as a triangle, as these are common structures and I can depict them all on one chart. But this takeaway is some sort of corrective structure that leads to a decline in price over a long period of time before the next impulse. Yes, this is going to take some time. It's going to take time to play out, and during that time, alts are going to get decimated. I wouldn't just be throwing money in just to throw money in. I've taken some positions, but most of them have been stopped out. In terms of Bitcoin, I want to actually show you guys something pretty significant on Bitcoin, going back to the Bitcoin price chart on Bitstamp. So, let me get rid of everything on this chart. Let's take a look back in time real quick. And I want to show you guys, let me get rid of everything that's on this chart. It's a little bit crowded from earlier. I was showing some people, some charts real quick. But when we look real quick at things happening back in the 2013-2014 timeframe, we look at what happened just before the alt run. Now, we got decimated back in 2013-2014. I was not here during this time, just to be transparent with you guys. But we look back in time, and on the run up, we've seen a correction of 75.69%. A lot of people would have sold out at this time. But what followed up was a major move to the upside. It was actually an over 1,700% run. Now, of course, it took time to get back to the all-time highs. In fact, we've seen the all-time high roughly at $260 at that time. And to get back into that time, it was 126 days. Okay, 126 days to get back into the all-time high. Just to show you guys real quick where we currently are. So here is the current market structure high of the November 8th time frame. If we're talking about this is on the weekly, by the way. We are already at 182 days. Okay, and I'm not saying that it's going to take us exact time frames to get back to the all-time high. No, absolutely not. You got to remember that the prices right now are significantly higher than back in 2013, 2014, so it's a lot easier to get back to those prices. I suspect that this will either do 2 times the amount of time to get back to the all-time highs, which would be roughly like 52 days. So again, when we look at this and say, all right, well, what would 252 days get us? Well, that would be roughly the July timeframe to get back to, our recent all-time highs. But that's just not enough time, in my opinion. I could definitely see a reversal happening around this time, but we will most likely trade sideways, and it will take a lot of time. You got to remember that just recently, right, to get back to our all-time highs back in the summertime of April, if we're talking about from the decline, we'll go off of the May timeframe, right? It took roughly, 147 days from the bottom point, from the, high to, again, the time there where we got back to the high, it took roughly 182 days. So again, when we talk about where we currently are, I think it's going to take a little bit of time to actually reverse here and recover. You got to remember that we're at this point, extremely oversold on a lot of things in this market, but I do suspect that we could see more downside unless we have a significant reversal here. Like, as you guys do see, we wicked below the 200 EMA. Unless we have a strong reversal here back to like 33 to 34K, again, I'm not going to be bullish on Bitcoin just yet. On the micro view. On the macro view, yes, I still believe that we are going to see some significant highs. And honestly, I do coincide with what Credible Crypto is saying. In fact, my all-time or my high for Bitcoin, even in 2023, is roughly the 107K zone. And I've talked about this in my Discord on why I do believe that is the topping point. But with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.